Are you thinking about moving or relocating to Columbus, Ohio, and trying to find out everything about the city and area before you decide to move here? You might be wondering, where's a nice place to live in Columbus? Are the people friendly, or can I afford to even live there? Well, in this video, I'm going to break down 9 things about living in Central Ohio that if you're thinking about moving here, you're going to absolutely need to know. And I'm breaking them all down right now. So let's go! Hey, my name is Mark Vanstein. I make videos about what it's like living here in Columbus, Ohio. If this is the first time to this channel, then hello and welcome. Some of the videos on this channel cover things like the best schools, neighborhoods, cost of living, where I should live, and things you absolutely need to know about the city so you can get a really good feel on what it's like to live here. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to give it to you straight. That is just my personality. And I would rather have you know exactly what you're getting into rather than you move here and be completely uninformed. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that thumbs up button down below. Or you can drop me a quick comment because I always love hearing from people. And if you're interested in learning more about Columbus and its many suburbs, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I am dropping new videos every week, not only about Columbus, but its many suburbs as well. If you're thinking about relocating or moving to Columbus, make your life a little easier and give me and my team a call. I'm a full-time RE/MAX real estate agent. I've been helping people relocate to Columbus for almost 2 decades now. You can give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, pick up that rotary phone and give me a call. Yes, I am old enough to remember those things. However you want to get a hold of me, my team and I are ready to help. We literally get people reaching out every week and we absolutely love it. Well, on with the video, and make sure you watch until number 9 because it's getting more and more important in today's society. Number 1 is The Ohio State University. If you're moving to Columbus, you need to know a few things about the university because it makes up such a large part of the city's culture and economy. Ohio State is located about 2 miles north of downtown and just east of a suburb called Upper Arlington. The university has about 50,000 students, so when school's in session, there's this huge influx of people down around the university. During the summer months, it's obviously much slower. College football is a huge passion here in the city, and during a home football game, there will be about 100,000 plus people down around the university. Even if you're not an Ohio State football fan, I always recommend to my clients to at least go to a game and just for the experience. There really is nothing quite like it. On the other hand, avoid the area like the plague on game days if you're not going to the game. The traffic is absolutely terrible. For those non-football fans, it's a perfect time to go out shopping or somewhere where it would normally be a little bit more crowded. And lastly, be careful scheduling any important events on Saturdays in the fall. You could possibly have a lot of no-shows. Number 2, Columbus has very flat terrain, and the city is surrounded primarily by agricultural fields. All of Central Ohio sits in this huge lake bed, so if you're into mountain biking or snow skiing or hiking, it can be a little difficult in this area. Now there are some awesome metro parks and bike trails in the area, and there is skiing a couple hours away, but just not available in this general vicinity. I have clients who move here are totally surprised by the lack of scenery. And when I say scenery, I mean the mountains and the huge valleys like you'd have in other parts of the country, especially if you're coming from the West Coast. One thing we do have in Columbus is a number of lovely metro parks. In fact, it's one of my favorite things about the city. As the area has been developed, communities have done a pretty good job on making sure that there's plenty of green space that remained. Speaking of being in a huge river valley, number 3 is you must be familiar with radon and its effects. Radon is very prevalent in all of Central Ohio because it's caused by the breakdown of shale and slate. Radon is a carcinogen and one of the leading causes of lung cancer. This colorless, odorless gas seeps up from the ground and can be hazardous in homes, especially in basements. Because basements get less natural air movement, radon levels are typically highest in that part of the house. Many people in Columbus finish off their basements for living space. You probably heard the term man cave. So if you are purchasing a home, I highly advise my clients to do a radon test. Radon is so prevalent in Columbus that 98% of the homes I deal with have high radon counts. The EPA says that if the test comes back over 4.0, that you should put in a remediation system, and there are many companies throughout Central Ohio that install radon systems. What they do is they seal the basement and then pipe that radon out over the gutter lines. These systems typically cost between $1,200 and $1,500, and like I said, are very prevalent throughout homes in Central Ohio. In some areas like Dublin, the building code actually has changed, so all newer constructions have to have a passive radon system installed when the house is built. If the radon level is still over 4.0, with a passive system, you can add a fan which will make the system active, and we'll usually get that number below 4.0. There's a lot more to discuss about radon, but I just wanted to let you know of its existence and something you should be aware of if you're moving to Central Ohio. Number 4 are our professional sports teams. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a professional football or basketball team. Like I mentioned in number 1, Ohio State is pretty much treated as our professional football team. But we do have an NHL hockey team, a AAA baseball team, and an MLS soccer team. All 3 now play in an area in greater downtown called the Arena District. The hockey team is called the Columbus Blue Jackets, and they have their own arena. Our baseball team is called the Columbus Clippers, which is a Cleveland Guardians AAA team, and the soccer team is the Columbus Crew. Baseball games in the summertime can be super exciting to go to, especially on nice evenings, and are very family friendly and reasonably priced. The Columbus Crew just built a brand new arena, and the games are fun to attend as well. We almost lost the soccer team a couple years ago when the past owner wanted to move them to Austin, but the city rally and an investor group was able to purchase the team and keep them here in town. It's very nice and convenient to have all 3 of these teams playing in the same area, the greater metro area. Number 5 is you're probably going to need a car. Columbus has a lot of sprawl and not a lot of walkable neighborhoods. The most walkable areas are probably going to be the Short North, downtown, and maybe even German Village. But even living in those areas, you're still probably going to need a motor vehicle. Columbus does have a decent public transportation system called CODA, which is our bus system, but it's really only convenient if you're living in one of those downtown metro areas. With the growth, Columbus, the city has really sprawled out into the suburbs. For many years, it was known as a commuter city where the downtown was pretty much dead after 5 p.m. on a Friday. At one point, the city planners felt like it was a good idea to tear down all the downtown metro buildings and build parking lots. It made it a little difficult trying to revitalize the greater downtown area, which started back in the early 2000s. Luckily, the city has come a long way in the last 20 years, but it's still not as Chicago or New York City where you can walk to everything you need within a couple blocks. A couple of the suburbs do have small downtowns. Now, when I say small downtowns, I mean like 1 or 2 traffic lights. But ultimately, you're probably going to need a car. Number 6, well, the good news is now that you have that car, the city is pretty easy to get around in. And you can pretty much get anywhere within the city in about 25 or 30 minutes. The overall design of our road system is fantastic. Now, if you live way up north in Dublin or Lewis Center and need to get downtown during rush hour, it might take you a little bit longer. But getting around to most of the city is pretty easy. We have 2 freeway systems that run north-south, 315 on the west side and I-71 on the east side. And then we've got I-70, which cuts the city in half east to west. We also have an outer belt called 270. With a population of over 1 million, we do have some rush hour traffic, but trust me, nothing like you're going to see in a Dallas or a Boston or Atlanta. I hear people complain about Columbus traffic, and sometimes I just laugh. I guess perception or people's own reality. Number 7 is Intel and the investment they're going to be making in Central Ohio. Intel, the chip manufacturer, is investing up to $100 billion to build the largest semiconductor manufacturing plants in the world. The plants will be located in the northeast side of Central Ohio, just northeast of a suburb called New Albany and south of Johnstown. Intel is going to build up to 5 plants that will employ thousands of people. This has been huge news for Central Ohio, as well as the whole state. But it's just not Intel's investment, but also the companies that supply Intel as well. The city's predicting huge growth the next several years. Currently, out on the northeast side, there is a modern day gold rush going on, with investors gobbling up all the land in the vicinity as quickly as they can. It's going to be a huge boom for the region and the economy. Number 8 is golf. Golf is very popular in Columbus, and we have lots of golf courses. I have a joke: if you throw a rock in Columbus, it's probably going to land on a golf course. When I was growing up, there were many fewer less golf courses than there are today. But as the city expanded, developers realized that they could sell off lots in subdivisions a lot easier if the subdivisions were built around a golf course or some sort of club. So you had a lot of newer country clubs and golf courses pop up as the city has expanded. I remember living in New York City after college and thinking about going out and playing a round of golf. Naive me, people would go out and camp overnight in their cars just to get a tee time for the next day. It is not that way in Columbus. In fact, there are some very, very nice public courses that are easy to get tee times on. Columbus also hosts a PGA event called the Memorial Tournament. The Memorial is played in the springtime around Memorial Day weekend out at Murfield in a suburb called Dublin. Murfield's course was designed by legendary pro golfer Jack Nicklaus, who grew up here in Central Ohio. For a week in the spring, Dublin becomes a little bit crazy preparing and hosting this tournament. Even if you don't like golf, the tournament is a lot of fun to attend, as long as it's not raining, which seems to happen just about every year. And lastly is the quality of healthcare here in Columbus. Healthcare is one of those things that people really don't think about until they move somewhere where it's not very good, or they have to drive a huge distance just to find a good doctor or a surgeon. In Columbus, the healthcare is excellent. Trust me, I help relocate many physicians every year into Columbus from all over the United States. We have two big healthcare systems, Ohio Health and the Ohio State University, which is currently building a new $1 billion hospital, which, if you're driving on Route 315, you can't help but miss it. Not only is it an excellent medical facility, but it also has a wonderful residence program as well. Ohio State has a renowned cancer hospital called the James. Unfortunately, I've had several friends who have had to have treatment at the James, and they couldn't speak more highly about it. Not to be outdone is Ohio Health, which has 12 hospitals throughout the city. It was named by Rutgers as one of the best healthcare systems in America 3 years in a row. U.S. News and World Reports ranked their neuroscience program in its top 50 list of best hospitals. And finally, we have Nation's Children's Hospital out on the east side of the city. Nationwide Children's hold a special place in my heart because it's our philanthropy. My team and I are known as miracle agents because we donate a portion of our earned commissions from every transaction to the hospital. The hospital was ranked in 2020 as the 7th best overall children's hospital in the United States. I cannot overstate how good of a job they do there. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about Columbus, Ohio. Listen, I know moving stinks, it's stressful, it's a total pain. I understand. I've been helping people do it for over the last 18 years. But in that time, I've become pretty good at knowing people's wants and needs and helping them in the right direction. If you're moving anywhere in Central Ohio, make your life a little easier and give me a call. My team and I are here to help. You can call, text, email me, however you want to reach out, we are here to assist. If you found this video valuable, please give me a thumbs up down below. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Until next time.